big problem, man. This boy's on steroids. He got a head like Barry Bonds.
When you watch a movie, what do you pay attention to? The actors, the story, maybe even the music score? When you're watching a movie, you're probably not thinking about the editing of a film. Some of you might not even know what that actually entails. I'm sure many of you have some general idea of what making a movie kind of looks like. You know, the script writing, the acting, and the process of all that. But how much do you actually know about what the process of editing really is? Put simply, editing is the process of putting together all the clips taken from a film or video and making it into a coherent story that the audience can understand. Editing is often known as the invisible art because if it is done extremely well, you, the audience, will not even realize that it is even there. As a result of this, editing is very underground, or as I said before, invisible to the general public. But editing may be the key component to actually making a film. So let's dive in and find out why that is. In 1910 to 1920, a man by the name of Lev Kuleshov, regarded as one of the first actual film theorists, wanted to figure out what made film unique as a form of media. He wanted to figure out what could film do that no other form of media could achieve. So to figure this out, he did a series of experiments. He gathered people to watch a short film that he edited. Where he first had a shot of a man that cut to a bowl of soup. Then there was another cut to the man apparently looking at a woman in a divan, a sort of chair, if you will. And then another cut to the man, and then to a girl in a coffin. Kuleshov then asked what did they think about the actor in each of the shots. Each member of the audience that they saw a different face in each of the different shots. He was sad looking at the girl in the coffin, he was lustful when he was looking at the woman on the divan, and he looked hungry when he was looking at the soup. The thing about this experiment was that Kuleshov used the exact same shot of the actor for each of the cuts to different scenes. Yet each member of the audience thought that he looked different and had different emotions on his face when watching this short film. In that moment, Kuleshov realized what made this form of media unique. Film can manipulate people's impressions, expectations, and thoughts unlike any other form of media, and editing is at the heart of doing so. So now I've explained this and everything, I'm going to give you an example of what this looks like in action.
Player 2 has left the game. You do know the front door was open again last night. I'm not saying it was you.
So that was a scene from the movie Shaun of the Dead in the beginning where Shaun's getting ready for the day, or at least that's what it looks like. Because you are seeing these actions being repeated in quick, rapid motion, you're also seeing a progression of events as Shaun goes throughout his daily morning routine, and this is all the consequence of editing. The editor himself put these clips in quickly and fast to make sure the audience knew just how much was going on and what the character was doing, so you understood the sequence of events happening on screen. and this is conveyed without saying a single word, yet it says so much. First of all, it conveys that the main character is getting up and getting ready to go throughout his day. Secondly, it suggests how many things are moving in quick, rapid succession, so it's not happening in a great span of time either. So that indicates that it's a specific time of day, and from his actions himself, like what he's doing during that scene, you can infer that it's morning. This is just one of many examples of how editing is making so many things apparent to the people without actually doing much. So now that you've seen an example of what it's like to see the effects of editing firsthand in a good light, now here's an example of what bad editing looks like on screen. And before we cut to the clip, I want you to know to what I define bad editing as. In my opinion, bad editing is noticeable, plain and simple. You should feel put off by the sequence of clips or how the sequence of clips is placed or paced. It might confuse you in some way or disorient you. In some way, shape, or form, you should be put off by the scene that is happening before your eyes. And that's exactly what you're about to see here with Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Done that since I was a kid.
That scene from Catwoman is a superb example of what bad editing looks like. Let's break this down. So first we have the choppy editing and the lack of remorse for the viewer's eyes. I would be surprised if you didn't get just the tiniest bit dizzy while watching that scene. The reason you might have gotten so disoriented while watching that clip is the fact that the editors gave you nothing to focus on or a rhythm to focus on with the cuts. Let me explain what I mean by that. In Shaun of the Dead scene, for example, each cut to the next shot had precisely the same build-up and cutaway as the last shot, giving you a sense of rhythm to know subconsciously that the scene would change soon, and that allows the viewers to get a sense of what's going on because the sense of rhythm is already established. The cut as well is also given proper build-up time to then cut away. It also didn't confuse the audience too much by only having one thing on screen moving at a time. In Catwoman, however, there is no rhythm or established thing to focus on during that scene. Everything is just moving all over the place, and it's cutting away from different scenes way too quickly for the audience to grasp what is happening during that scene. The shocking thing is, believe it or not, that the Shaun of the Dead scene and the Catwoman scene are one and the same. However, because of the difference in editing, one is extremely good and is a great example of story progression, character building, and the like, and the other is just simply a mess. So now that you've seen how heavily editing can affect and potentially ruin a film, why is it that so few people, and by that I mean the general public, know about how integral editing is to a film? The film industry itself is well aware of how integral editing is, and that is proven by their high salary and the fact that some editors are also the directors of a film because they need that vision that they had in their heads to create the film to be represented perfectly, so they go and do it themselves. That's how important it is. So my message to all the viewers who are watching this is to just look out and appreciate when you see a film you enjoy, that the editing is definitely being put to work, working silently in the background to make sure that the movie can be the best version for the audience.